Incoming for the class of 2023 for Lafayette women's soccer, 5 players, as Adam Dobrowolski here with head coach Mick Statham. And coach, what is overall the biggest theme of these 5 coming in and what they will provide to the team?
Well, hopefully instant play. I think all 5 of them have a really good chance of contributing in some way, shape or form immediately. And I think for us, that's certainly the more people that can contribute and help the team from the get-go, that's what we're hoping.
You have 4 student athletes domestically, 1 internationally. We'll start off with the international product, our great neighbor up north, Canada, from Ontario, Melissa Lamanna. What does she bring to the table working up front?
Well, I think she's got a lot of good traits. Technically, she's sound. She strikes a good ball. She's a good athlete. And she has a knack of scoring goals, which obviously is something everybody wants more of. You just can't have enough goals in your team. So I think when I've watched her play, she's scored some big goals when I've been watching her play for a club team at certain times. So hopefully that continues down here. But I think she's got a lot of good traits. Her attitude is excellent, and I think she'll really fit in well with the group.
And that club she plays with, Markham SC. But overall, in terms of what she brings, is she familiar to any recent player, current player on the team in terms of what she brings up front?
She's someone that I think is quite good in a number of categories. I don't think she's particularly that she reminds me of anyone in particular recently. What I do like about her is she's got numerous things that she's quite good at. That obviously she'll have to enhance when she gets to the college level, but she's got a couple of different things that she's quite good at, and with not one thing that's domineering.
And now looking forward to another recruit, this time from the New England area in Massachusetts at Pomfret School, Rory Schauder, also club ball with FSA. What does she bring? She's had experience on the back line, whether it be outside or center. What might she bring that continues that standard of excellence on the back line?
Well, she's, I think, mature. She strikes a really good ball, which of course can be not only helpful for clearing balls, but also helping you play out of the back, which I think the team did a good job of this year in developing, is looking to play out more successfully. So I think she'll help with that too. She's good in the air, which is vital for a centre back, and she's a good organizer. She's quite vocal, and I think what she'll have to keep learning when she gets here is that with being such a good communicator is what to communicate and when, but that obviously comes with maturity. But she's got all the traits of a great leader of the back line, I think, and we're really hoping for big things from her.
We've talked about a player up front, talked a player back. Similar dynamic that's going to happen from 2 players from Westtown School in Pennsylvania, also 2 players from Penn Fusion. You have a forward in Sarah Oswald and a goalie in Natalie Newman. We'll first start off with Sarah up front, talk about Natalie after that, and then talk about the 2 together. But Sarah, all-league, all-state player, set the goal record at Westtown. Forward-wise, what type of skill set does she bring that might be unique to other players?
Well, I think she's really technical and quick with it. So some players can be quite technical until the speed really starts to get up there. Then the technique starts to go a little bit because, we all have different comfort levels at different speeds. But she's very good at a high speed technically, under control, obviously accurate, clean, and that is, I think, really going to serve her well when she starts initially playing against players that are older than she is, being able to have close control of the ball but do it quickly when you have significantly less time in college than you do obviously in high school and club, I think is gonna serve her well. But she's a very good athlete as well. She's strong, she's quick, and maturity wise, I think she'll make the transition, I think, quite well.
And her high school and club teammate Natalie, in terms of goal, what does she bring? You talk about the keys as a forward of having that quick decisiveness, but also good technical play. How has her communication level been as a high school player, and how might that translate where she can make that right type of communication, but also do the right things in those tight spots?
Well, I think Natalie is one of her strengths is her personality, her leadership skills, her communication, her confidence. Because obviously as a goalkeeper, she can see everything. So you don't always get amazing communication from goalkeepers. Maggie is also a very good communicator. So with Nat, I think it's part of her personality. She wants the responsibility, which is important. Everyone thinks they're a leader, but not everyone is. We need some followers also. But Nat's a good leader, and I think she enjoys that part of it. But she's also incredibly talented and a really hard worker and puts a lot into her game, and she's also a really good kicker of a ball. So I think she's, again, from a maturity standpoint and a readiness, I think she'll be ready to go.
From your experience, Coach, having two players not just from the same school but from the same club, how does that help them just to get acclimated to being student athletes at this high of a level, but then also kind of helping each other out to get used to your system and your coach's system and everything that is required here at Lafayette?
Well, I think it can be big. Lauren and Jeej were both from the same team, a highly successful team. And so I think depending on who the two players are, or three players, depending on obviously how many there are, it can be very helpful, just because who you share it with can be vitally important to you, and obviously your confidence level, and these days all incoming classes of all schools are very familiar with each other, through camps and clinics and club and stuff like that. So most of them have spent time with each other before, but if you spend the amount of time together that those two have spent together, then I can only think it's going to be a massive benefit to both of them.
And we move forward now. I thank you for that. Is obviously that team factor. You want to have that as much as possible coming right in. But another athlete from Pennsylvania, Haley Purcell from Quakertown High School, club ball with Continental, has had All-State, All-League accolades. She's going to be in the midfield. What does she bring as that lone midfield recruit into this class that will help to keep the team's depth going in that position?
Well, the thing about Haley is she is kind of multi-dimensional. She can play left back, she can play left centre back, she can play holding centre mid, she can play left mid. Obviously there's a theme here, she's left-footed. She's an outstanding athlete. So she can get up and down the field. Physically, she's going to be able to handle herself with college kids, no problem, right from the get-go. But she's also technically really good. And again, attitude-wise, just like the other four, just a really nice person, team-orientated, as fitting well with, of course, we've had, many talks over the last year or two, and I think just fits in really great with the Lafayette ideal, and is just someone I think we can use in different spots at different times to help the team, wherever we need it.
Well, we've talked about the 5 recruits, Coach, and I think just being able to follow a team in the last few years, one of the best things I think about this program is the depth. You've been able to mix in a game 19 or 20 players on the pitch, and they've all had that quality of play that's needed. This is a recruiting class of 5, so it's not in terms of numbers the deepest, but in terms of the quality, it seems like that depth is going to continue. Overall, do you feel that this recruiting class is just going to be able to, you've already talked about the immediacy of play, but just to be able to fit in terms of personality and also style of play, just have the same standard moving forward?
I do. I think this class is a really, really good class. And I do think they're all ready to contribute. As we've talked about in the past, the difference is in the freshman year of any career is how they adjust to college life. It's not always are they ready talent-wise, but the adjustment to college life in the first year sometimes will kind of push some players further forward and hold players back a little bit that first year. And then once they're comfortable, they start to, really come along. And there's countless players I can tell you that perhaps had okay first years and then really took off. And then, in years past, we had Kalen King, who, from day one was just so comfortable and so good. And then we had someone like Julia Westcott, who had a pretty good freshman year, but her junior and senior years was one of the best players we've ever had and one of the great leaders that I've been around any sport, and just was fabulous by the time she got out of here. So I do think from a maturity standpoint, all 5 girls are ready to come in and play. Obviously, we'll find that out when we get here, but talent-wise, I really do think they're going to help the team in whatever way that is, whether it's tons of minutes, small minutes, whatever the team needs. I think they're going to be ready for it.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Coach, and of course, looking forward to the class of 2023.
Thank you.
Again, Head Coach Mick Statham, this is Dobrowolski right here on the Lafayette Sports Network.
Here come the Leopards.